Alright, hey everybody, I want to Wisdom here. It's Saturday, May 18th. I think it's 3, something along those lines. I don't really know. Really tired yesterday. Didn't get a chance to make these videos. That said, I did get the round 6 blog polls up. Tried to post that, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Google+. Basically, that means round 6 is up. However, for video documentation, we want to take care of round 5 and then introduce round 6 formally. We'll just cut straight to the chase here. Hadn't had a text message in a video in a while. But out of all these matches, the ones I kind of thought would be pretty interesting, this one in my hand actually, Tornado Pop Fizz. Forecasted a landslide in Dino-Rang. Sprocket, I thought Sunburn Fright Rider would be interesting. Camo and Chill, kind of thought that'd be one-sided. I really thought that for Jet-Vac and Flashwing, they really had their best chances to win these matches. Wham-Shell, Shroom Boom, kind of figured that'd be a landslide. But the real marquee matchup on my end, and also, what I figured most people would consider, was 4-0 Hot Dog against 4-0 Ghost Roaster. We'll recap the results here, but that's just kind of a quick rundown. As things turned out, we had 3-2 Castaway Tornado pitted against the ever-popular Magic Element Newlander Pop Fizz. I'm sorry, 3-1 Tornado, not to ruin anything for you there. But, Pop Fizz comes in at 3-0-1. Again, he had the legit tie with Camo a couple rounds back. I also need to mention Blogger is doing that deal where you lose poll votes. Another site I run opened a poll, I think it was early April. I had like 580 votes on it. Now it's down to like half of that, basically, I don't know why it does that. It's done it before a few times. At points, you'll have like something that had 350 votes, we'll say split about 180 to 170, and it can be a closed poll even, doesn't have to be active, and it'll just leach votes away slowly, and then 10 days, 2 weeks later, it'll be down to like, 8 to 6, and you're like, what the heck happened here? The good news is they usually restore it. The bad news is it sometimes takes them a while. Similar issue, I'm having trouble embedding the YouTube videos on the blog. Usually it's just a one-click operation. It pulls up my videos. For whatever reason, it says I have no videos now. That's another issue on their end. I can embed them. That's what I did with the Nintendo Direct one, but it kind of like skews the proportions and everything. So my apologies on that end. That's why you may not see these videos added to the post, but there will be a link, so there you go. But, apparently we only had 10 votes in this one again. It was up significantly higher than that earlier in the week, and then magically it lost about half of the votes, which, it's one of those things, but hopefully they get it rectified soon. As it turned out, Pop Fizz won by 2-vote margin, 6-4. That puts Pop Fizz 4-0-1. Tornado falls to 3-2. Our next matchup, and this is the one that I thought was probably, let me just skim everything again. Yeah, this is the one that I felt would be the biggest, landslide victory. It pits Castaway Dino-Rang, who came in at 2-2, against 1-3 Sprocket, who took down Boomer at one point in time. If you recall, in the previous round, Dino-Rang was absolutely slaughtered by Pop Fizz. He has returned the favor. 13 votes cast in this poll, or at least that were held over and not deleted by Blogger. And Dino-Rang won 11-2. So I guess that's a little redemption for everyone's favorite dinosaur. And Sprocket falls to 1-4 based on that. Next matchup, again, this is one that I honestly could have seen this one going either way. I felt like I knew what would happen. I also need to mention, if you recall, in the previous round, Fright Rider and Camo tied. It was a deal, it lost half the votes and then it dropped down. I had a commenter on YouTube said they changed their vote and that's why they tied, but the thing is, it was actually higher than that prior to even that happening. Sunburn comes in at 2-2. Fright Rider 2-1-1. I think I'm going to go ahead and nullify that tie. I had checked it literally before, I took the screen caps. Basically, it had like 8 minutes left to vote, and this is when everyone's asleep except me in Australia. And I think Camo probably had the win. So in theory, Fright Rider's basically coming in, 2-2, just like Sunburn. This one was really close. 2-vote margin. Sunburn took the win 7-5. Can't say I'd argue with that. I feel like it's just kind of a tough matchup for Fright Rider in terms of battle mode. Everything else factored in, I mean, they're fairly even, so turned out to be a pretty good matchup. Our next one, Poor Chill, comes in at 0-4. Just can't seem to catch a break. She actually performed pretty well in this one. Camo, of course, comes in 2-0-2. Again, he did tie with Pop Fizz. I feel like the tie with Fright Rider kind of shouldn't be there. So I think I'm just going to bump him up to 3-0-1. Just indicating the tie with Fright Rider. Chill, like I said, comes in 0-4. This was actually fairly close. Again, it could be because of Blogger. May just be because, I'm only keeping these open a week or something. But 8-5 was the actual margin. Camo took the win by 3. Like I said, I'm actually a pretty big Chill fan. That said, it's nice to kind of see her actually compete, not get like a landslide shutout or something. But nonetheless, Camo prevails in this one. I started to say something here, but that would make it really obvious. I'm sure you can probably find it anyway. Our next matchup, referenced this one at the beginning. We have the Newlander Jet-Vac, much like Chill, comes in winless at 0-4. Going up against the Magic Element Castaway Voodooed. Voodooed and Boomer have been on a tear here lately. Voodooed comes in at 2-2. I really felt like this was a good chance for Jet-Vac to win. That, however, did not happen. Voodooed took him down with the axe. 7-5, a 2-vote margin victory win there for Voodooed. That'll move Voodooed surprisingly up to 3-2, a winning record. Jet-Vac, much like Chill, falls to 0-5. Our next matchup, Castaway Boomer. Again, been on a bit of a tear here lately. Comes in at 2-2. He's having a great time. Flashwing, surprisingly, she has competed very, very well here recently. Comes in at 0-4. The way this one panned out, Boomer, by 1 vote, takes the win 7-6. Had 13 votes in that one. 13 was the most votes we had. Lowest was 10. That was in Mornado and Pop Fizz. I'm kind of thinking discrepancy there. There were probably a few people, those could be 2 of their favorite characters. They simply abstained from voting. There's another one with 12 that was a bit of an issue, but we'll get to that in a second. That's why I always stress your vote is very important. I mean, particularly if Google's going to be skewing the votes, losing them, or if we just, are getting fewer voters, then every vote literally becomes weighted heavier. But Flashwing did very well. Like I said, just lost 1, 7-6. Boomer improves like Voodoo to 3-2, a winning record. He's ecstatic. And Flashwing, surprisingly, falls to 0-5. Our next matchup, like I said, this is not only the match that I considered the marquee of this round, but I think everyone would agree with me, at least in terms of what we have going on here. We have Fire Element Newlander Hot Dog, who is rabidly popular, and we've got the Ghost with the Most Ghost Roaster. Still holding over well with as hard as it's been to locate Darklight Crypt lately. I think he's kind of gotten a push. And if you notice, as it's usually new and rare, kind of dictates how things go a lot of the times in these polls. But the big news here, both of them come in with perfect records. Unlike Camo and Pop Fizz, who have ties blemishing their marks, these two guys, perfect, 4-0. Like I said in the matchup video, something's got to give. Sadly, nothing gave. What Blogger wound up documenting was just 12 votes. I had seen 16 earlier in the day, so again, it's kind of one of those deals, an issue on their end. But oddly enough, the same result at that time. These two finished knotted at 6. So what that means, this is another tie. I do consider this one legitimate. I checked it earlier in the week, like right after the polls were made. It was 2-2. Earlier in the day, Friday, I think at work, as I finished the Nintendo Direct deal, they were knotted up at 8, and then they were down now to 6. Lost votes aside, it's basically a trend that these two tied up, and I'm comfortable with that. It's going to basically send both of them to 4-0-1. That's really our second legitimate tie, first being Camo and Pop Fizz. The Camo Fright Rider deal, I feel like that was simply an issue with lost votes, since I had seen Camo up and then the vote totals decreased significantly. But pretty intense matchup, and the way it panned out there, we've got a tie. So more on that later. Our final matchup in this round, I didn't think it was anything to get excited about. I was right. We have Shroom Boom, who joins the trio of winless Newlanders, coming in at 0-4. He was squaring off against the crustacean sensation Wham-Shell, who still retains a great deal of popularity. He's kind of got those double trouble eyes going on. He came in pretty respectable mark of 3-1. As it turned out, 13 votes in this one, 9-4 margin. Shroom Boom did a little better than I thought he would, I guess. But Wham-Shell, as you can see there, basically took the mace to the Mushroom Man. Took the win. He will improve to 4-1, one of the top marks in this tournament. And Shroom Boom will fall to 0-5. I mentioned, again, 13 votes in that one, 13 in most, or at least that's what they documented, kept, and didn't lose track of, or whatever's going on the site. Whoever that 13th person is, that voted in most of these and not Ghost Roaster and Hot Dog, you basically would have been the difference in this one. I hate doing that because I realize it was probably a deal. That person probably couldn't decide, likes both characters. For all I know, they might hate both of them, and that's why they didn't vote. But it was probably one of those deals coming through. It was easy for them to pick, say, Voodoo, Flashwing, Wham-Shell. And then on that one matchup, they kind of had a hard time. Could have been a deal someone just accidentally skipped over it, didn't hit submit or something. But I cannot stress enough how every vote really does matter. And like I said, I don't know what the issue is with Blogger. They've, like I've mentioned, done this several times in the past where they actually lose the votes. Cut them down significantly at times. I've got closed polls that have, they've lost. They had like 350-ish votes on the blog, and if you look at them now, they'll be down to like half of that number. It's just a weird deal. Eventually they'll rectify it and the numbers will spring back up, but it's kind of an issue when we're trying to do this 1 week at a time. But make the most of it. That's why it's important you vote, tell your friends, pull for your favorites, get as many people as we can involved. That way, we hopefully won't have as close of a margin if there continues to be issues. We'll say now, since it won't be as obvious, Chase McCain is somewhere out here. He's actually in a different spot this time. I had time to set it up. You've probably already found him. That said, just before I forget, I had somebody PM me on this. I guess I forgot to go through my winners. Warnado and Pop Fizz. As I've upgraded Pop Fizz, I've really taken more of a liking to him. He was fun to play with box stock, but upgraded, he is a blast. That said, Warnado is one of my favorites, and like I said, I don't want you to just view this as battle mode. Personally, in battle mode, I feel like I can take anybody, and I can take down pretty much any Skylander. Some not near as easily as others. But I want you to include battle mode, aesthetics, story mode, upgrades, if you like them in the game, everything you can think of, essentially. That one would be really tough for me. I might give the edge to Warnado. Dino-Rang Sprocket, no contest. I'm going Dino-Rang there. He's one of my favorites. Sunburn Fright Rider, that is a tough one. I haven't gotten to spend a lot of time actually playing with the fully upgraded Fright Rider. I honestly would have to spend more time with him. I would like to pick him, but Sunburn, very effective down the path I took him down. I might give Sunburn the edge right now, but it is extremely narrow. Camo and Chill. I think Camo would probably be able to take Chill in battle mode. It would be a lot tougher than I think people think if you're good with Chill. I do think I could use Chill and beat Camo. Both are really fun to play with. Chill's got the ice wall she can actually throw through. That's something I really like. Camo just does massive damage. He regenerates health. That's another really tough one for me. Might give a slight edge to Chill. It would probably vary on the level, in all honesty, or my mood on the given day. Just extremely tight there, like the previous one. Jet-Vac and Voodoo, I actually like Voodoo. I would, however, pick Jet-Vac in that case, unlike the Poles. Boomer and Flashwing, as much as I like Boomer because he's been the quintessential underdog throughout this whole thing, not just this tournament, but like in general, going back to the launch of SSA. He's a blast to play with, very underrated, I think, still. I, however, would have to pick Flashwing. I think she's got the long-range projectiles, could take him in battle mode. Her upgrade paths are crazy. She gets the armor down the path. I think I'd take her. Ghost Roaster, Hot Dog. Hot Dog, very fun and amusing to play with. I know he's got a huge following. Me personally, I think I would take Ghost Roaster. That's almost entirely based on Skullmaster. He was my first one to hit level 10 in SSA. I've actually been fond of him since I got him launch day free at Toys R Us last year. This was before the series blew up and people knew it would be popular. But when I actually bought Spyro's Adventure Starter Pack, they gave Darklight Crypt away. How the times have changed, you know. But I've just always liked him. Once I upgraded him, he was awesome. Really like his background. I think he's a lot of fun to play with. Shroom Boom Wham-Shell. If you follow along with me, you probably know what I'm going to do here, but I would take Shroom Boom. I think he's very underrated. Kind of one of those ones that people play with and don't really like, and then maybe they don't upgrade or spend as much time using him. His barrier boost path was disappointing just because it blows up the mushrooms. You know, Chill can throw through, Zook can shoot through the cactus, and they don't disappear or blow up. Even that aside, and Paramushroom Promotion was pretty fun. I would take him over Wham-Shell, but that's my picks on it. Again, they were freaking Fright Rider, Sunburn, Chill, Camo really hard for me on those. Tornado Pop Fizz also tough. I still haven't gotten to do Mad Scientist. I'm waiting for Light Core Pop Fizz. That's why I haven't done the collection video either. I keep getting tons of emails on that. It will come eventually. It's just I keep thinking any day now they're going to release those, and you know, it'd be sad to do a video like 8 days beforehand. But nonetheless, that is the way I would go. This was round 5, despite the issues with Blogger. Thanks to everyone who voted, and you know, particularly the long haulers in this series. But we're going to continue on. Round 6 is up next. It has some very sweet matches. I'm going to rearrange everything. Move Chase McCain will record that. Again, to take part in this, absolutely free, no commitment. All you have to do is go to the blog, oneofwisdom.blogspot.com. Scroll down the right-hand sidebar. Just below the Twitter feed, you're going to see Castaways versus Newlanders. For round 6, it'll have a 6-1. Make your selection there. I think it's Warnado and Sprocket. So, you know, you want to vote for Warnado, click him, press vote. It'll show you the current results. You can refresh it to get them with your vote involved. And then just repeat the process all the way down 6 through 8. Round 8 of the 6th round will technically be, you know, Wham-Shell versus, I think, Pop Fizz, which is going to be interesting. But won't spend too much time on that. Again, the polls are on the blog. All you have to do is vote. Tell your friends. Poll for your favorites. Let's try to get as many people as we can involved. Hopefully, whatever the issue is on Bloggers End gets taken care of. But you can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. As always, thanks for watching, and we will catch you back for the round 6 matchups.